Hey friends, in this video we're going to talk about how we can insert n numbers within two numbers, let's say a and b, in such a way that our resulting sequence will be in GP, that is geometric progression. So for that, let's take that sequence something like this. We have our first term as a and our last term as b, and we want to insert n elements within this two numbers, let's say g1, g2, g3 up till gn, within this two numbers a and b. So the first and the most important thing you should note over here is we have all total of n plus 2 elements in this sequence, in this particular sequence. Why? Because we have this g1 to gn as n number of elements and a and b other two elements, so total n plus 2 elements. Now we know that the nth term of a GP is, that is an is equals to a r to the power n minus 1. But the important fact to be noted over here is our n is not n here. Here we have n plus 2 elements, so the equation becomes a n plus 2 equals to a r to the power n plus 2 minus 1, right? So a n plus 2 is nothing but b, that is our last term, n plus 2th term, and our a is obviously a over here also, that is our first term, r is our common ratio, and n plus 2 minus 1 will become n plus 1, right? Now we will find r from this particular sequence or this particular equation, so that will become something like this: r n plus 1 is equals to b by a, right? Now r is equals to b by a to the power 1 by n plus 1, right? So what is our r? Our r is b by a to the power 1 by n plus 1. So let's find out the terms that we want to get, that is g1, g2, g3 and so on. So to get g1, what we can do to get g1, as we know, g1 is the second term of our sequence, a is the first term and g1 is the second term of our sequence. So by using the nth formula, we can say that g1 will be equals to a r to the power 2 minus 1, and that will be equals to a r, and further we can write is a r as b by a to the power 1 by n plus 1. So b by a to the power 1 by n plus 1 multiplied by a. So this is our g1. Now similarly we can find g2 as a r to the power 3 minus 1, as it is the third term of our sequence, so it will be r square, and further we'll write it as b by a to the power 2 by n plus 1, because 1 by n plus 1 multiplied by 2 will become actually 2 by n plus 1, and so on. We will get up to gn, that is a r to the power n. Now gn is the n plus 1th term of our sequence, so that will be n plus 1 minus 1. N plus 1 is the nth term, that is n plus 1th term, and minus 1, as we know it is in the formula. So that will become as a r to the power n, and further we can write it as a b by a to the power n by n plus 1. So that is our sequence, that is a, then g1 as a into b by a to the power 1 by n plus 1, and so on. Now I hope this one is clear. how we can insert, it is a general sequence, how we can insert our n number of terms within two numbers, and finally we can get a GP sequence. Now we can go to an example and make it more clear. We have to insert three numbers between 1 and 256. Obviously we have to get the sequence as a GP1. So similarly we will write 1 and 256. Within we will have to get three terms. So let's get G1, G2 and G3. Now as we have done earlier also, what we have to do, we have to just find out R. So how we can find out R? As we know that 256 is our fifth term, because A is the 1 is the first term, G1 is the second term, and so on. 256 is the fifth term. So we can write as A5. Let me change the color. Yeah, A5 will be AR to the power 4, where A is 1, as we know that the first term is 1. R we don't know, R to the power 4. Now A5 we know that is 256. Now R to the power 4 is equals to 256, and we know that R, we can easily find R from here, and that will be plus minus 4, right? So R will be plus minus 4. Now we can easily get the sequence. As we know what is A, as we know what is R, we can easily get the sequence that we want to get. So in this particular example, A is 1 and R is 4. Let's say R is plus 4. We can get two sequences from here. Number 1 will be when R is 4, and number 2 will be when R is minus 4. So let's say when R is 4, that will be 1 into 4 will be 4. Let me change the color. 1 into 4 will be 4. Again 4 into 4 will be 16. 16 into 4 will be 64, and the last term that we know is 256, right? So we have these three terms we have inserted. Now let's say when A is 1 and R is minus 4, then the sequence will be something like this. 1 is the first term as usual, but the second term will be minus 4, because minus 1 to minus 4, 1 into minus 4 will be minus 4. Then minus 4 into minus 4 will be plus 16. Plus 16 into minus 4 will be minus 64. And the next one will be minus 4 into minus 64 will be plus 256. And that is also in our sequence. So we have inserted three numbers between 1 and 256 such that the whole sequence is in GP. So we got exactly two sequences in that way. So I hope you are quite comfortable with this type of questions, and if you have any doubt in this video, please comment down below, and thanks for watching.